Hand clap to the massive brothers and sisters. We are finally back. We finally made it to another reaction on this Mystelics Reacts. Child, brothers and sisters, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't feeling to do a video today, you know. I wasn't feeling, but brothers and sisters, I have some things to get off my chest, man, when it comes down to the situation that is happening, brothers and sisters. But with that said, brothers and sisters, don't forget to click the thumbs up button, and of course, big up all the Mystelics family and the newcomers that they have definitely tuned into these vibrations to see what's up with your boy right there, brothers and sisters. And these guys received the previous video really well, brothers and sisters, but there's some things we have to clear up, brothers and sisters. Some things, brothers and sisters, we must clear up. And of course, brothers and sisters, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get the latest vibrations when they do definitely tend to come through. Right there, I would appreciate that in that regard, brothers and sisters. I just washed my fish right there. My beard is, you know, wet. So, hey, it is what it is, brothers and sisters. Anyways, with that stated right there, let us get into the vibrations for the day. We talk about this thing right there, brothers and sisters. And of course, according to the United Workers' Party President Lennox, Mr. Lennox Linton, he has definitely accused the government of doing what? Using public funds to hide how it spends money from the citizenship by investment program. Let me read that again, brothers and sisters. United Workers President Mr. Lennox Linton accuses the government. That's one of the things that I like about Lennox. He's able to expose a number of things. So big up to Lennox when it comes up to the vibrations right there. And of course, he's saying so not just for saying sake. We will listen to what he has to say in a moment, brothers and sisters. But of course, the government is using public funds to hide. Talking about the government, talking about transparency. We are the transparent individuals. We are transparent government. Blatant lies, brothers and sisters. Lie like Satan himself. You must be competing with Satan to see how well you can lie. Rebuke the devil, SKERRIT, rebuke the devil. But of course, they have been using public funds. The funds are supposed to go towards the hospital and the roads and helping the education system and doing things that will help people retain or get jobs. My goodness gracious, brothers and sisters, they are using these funds. Alas, with all the different things that is happening on the United Workers Party, and we'll talk about it in a moment, brothers and sisters, but this is true, evident, that is happening with Dominicans today in Dominica, brothers and sisters. The funds that are supposed to be used to help the Dominican people is being used to hide the corruption being taken place under the citizenship by investment program. They're using public funds to hide how it spends the money right there. Sometimes when you say I see certain things, brothers and sisters, and you check in, but what is going on, brothers and sisters? Keep in mind, we have more resorts developing in Dominica. You know that? You know that, brothers and sisters? Now, you might find it strange because we have other resorts and stuff that haven't been filled to 10% capacity yet. Now, I understand in business. Now, I understand business very well. It's very strong. Brothers and sisters, you know how to expand in business or to prepare based on how the business is doing at present. Right? You have a surplus and you say, okay, you have a number of persons coming in and there's a constant drive of individuals coming in to, you know, facilitate or to participate or partake. It's a lot supper, brothers and sisters, in these hotels that are wrong, brothers and sisters. But these hotels have not been filled to 10% capacity yet. We are building more hotels and resorts in Dominica. For what reasons, brothers and sisters? What reasons? Based off this very title, we've seen they're using public funds to hide how they're spending the monies from the CBI investment program, brothers and sisters. And of course, we listen to what he has to say in that regard right there. It's very interesting what is going on in Dominica. And we have to take a pause. No matter what struggle people have their takes and all those kind of things, it's true. Everybody have their takes and everybody, according to the song, wants to be the leader. Now, brothers and sisters, a number of persons have a number of things to say when it comes to the United Workers Party. I get that, I get it. But the fact is we are seeing these things taking place and completely neglecting what is happening to Dominica. Not true. Tell me a lie. Somebody in the comments say, Mystelics, you lie. And then tell me how I lie, brothers and sisters. Because it seems like we tend to be focusing on the wrong thing. It's not necessarily the right things, the wrong things at the right times that will elevate the people who at the right times are doing the wrong things. It's interesting, how we look at this circumstance right there. Anyways, let's listen to what Mr. Lennox Linton has to say in that regard right there.
The government is taking their money, over $2 million, without their permission, the people's permission, to prevent the people from knowing what is happening with their CBI money. Think about it.
Like I told you guys, they did the appeal and tried their best to stop the people from knowing. The very government that said the very Lennox Linton would be embarrassed. So embarrassed that the people will notice that he's not fit to run for Prime Minister when he exposes him, when SKERRIT exposes him with the accounts that he said that he will be presenting since 2015. 6 years later, brothers and sisters, they are fighting. They are using the people's money, about $2 million, to try to keep these people from knowing what this transparent government is doing. I mean, we cannot be too far-fetched to, you know, we have different things, but we have to look at what is actually going on. When it comes on to the circumstance that is taking place in Dominica, let us continue right there.
But we get crucified for suggesting or recommending what is good for the program in Dominica. It is considered economic terrorism. And Mr. SKERRIT says that we literally want to kill people. And so...
SKERRIT does exaggerate. SKERRIT is a huge exaggerator, you know. But you know why he's exaggerating, brothers and sisters? Because he knows the people who don't apparently like to think for themselves. You know, once he says some exaggeration rubbish, that the people will just swallow it. And even if they don't swallow it because he said that, they will say, oh, look at that. And sometimes when you go and argue with them, they come back with the same points, saying, look, they're trying to do this to take out the people. Yeah. I don't know what was giving this spirit for me not to do a reaction today, but I feel it I should be doing it all now, man. That's crazy. Let's go.
We must treat these attacks on Dominica as if you have someone outside your personal home stolen you.
Mr. Police Commissioner.
Can you imagine SKERRIT saying that? SKERRIT said, boy.
We must treat these attacks on Dominica as if you have someone outside your personal home.
The international community from all across the board is literally watching Dominica, brothers and sisters. People who were tracking corruption in other places, they were linked back to Dominica, brothers and sisters. One thing that is very important that I think I need to say, I think I said it already, brothers and sisters. It is very interesting that the rush that they take to change the Dominican passports. It's very interesting how that happened. And then they fast-tracked it. Remember when they fast-track it? Say, oh, at this time you need to get this, and they say, no, they bring back the date, and they fast-track it. Brothers and sisters, you know why? Because apparently from my understanding, and I think Annette brought it up in Parliament, hey, people sending our passports in Pakistan and all kind of places. How come is that? How come? What's going on? Apparently, you know, people just print passports, you know, in the movies, when people want to escape things, they print in passport. Apparently, that was happening to Dominica in reality. In reality, apparently, people were making our passports and selling it. Interesting, ain't it? They were making the passport, brothers and sisters, and selling it outside of the scope of Dominica's CBI. That's what I understood right there. I dare anybody to tell me what I'm saying is not accurate. Tell me, brothers and sisters. I want to know. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below, brothers and sisters. This is why Dominica had to fast track the passport business, so that citizens can change up their passports, so that the other passports that they were printing would be void. It would be void, brothers and sisters. It would not be legitimate. Anyways, let's continue right there. SKERRIT does do things in Dominica, yes.
Stolen you.
Mr. Police Commissioner, Madam DPP, you're well aware of these statements. This criminal incitement to murder, yet you do nothing.
Stolen your home and breaking your windows and doors and want to set your house on fire with you and your family in it.
SKERRIT. SKERRIT is a madman, you know. You know that? No, as I'm listening to that there, SKERRIT is a madman, you know, boy. You will be a good comedian, SKERRIT.
Because that is what is going to do to Dominica.
That is the kind of language that the man is coming with, playing with the emotions of people, tricking and deceiving them on matters that are so important to the growth and development of Dominica, with all the deception.
He said something very important right there, to the growth and development of Dominica. That's what the CBI funds is supposed to be used for. The rest of the world is watching Dominica and say, hey, because of the CBI. Brothers and sisters, the reason why this CBI program is looked at by the international community is because of what Dominica has done. It is sad for me to say this, but this is the truth. Because of what Dominica has done. Brothers and sisters, you know they are giving, let me give all you a little insight into something. You know they are paying a lot of money for due diligence, most robust due diligence system for Dominica. Millions of dollars, brothers and sisters, from my understanding right there. Millions to have due diligence process during CBI. But apparently that money doesn't seem to be going to that because a number of criminals have obtained our passports. And not just our passport, brothers and sisters. One thing to sell the Dominica passports, but it's another thing when you do not sell the diplomatic, let me say, you do not sell the diplomatic passports to hand over to certain individuals who should be qualified for the ambassadorship role, but instead they're using these diplomatic passports to do the criminal activities. It is one thing when you're doing due diligence process for the normal passports, brothers and sisters, but then to be using the diplomatic passports, last week, brothers and sisters, a number of criminals have obtained Dominica diplomatic passports. And as a result, the rest of the world is realizing something is going on. And it's so unfortunate for the rest of the Caribbean. Well, some of them have a level of corruption in there, no doubt about it. It's not just Dominica alone, but the majority of corruption taking place is where in Dominica. Not in Dominica, but because of Dominica. And this most robust due diligence process, which apparently they have millions of dollars, or at least $1 million, brothers and sisters, going every year. You know another thing I always find out, brothers and sisters? Normally when you make the budget for programs, you make the budget for programs and you have the national budget that you do, and you say, okay, we have $15 million for this, we have $10 million for that, and so forth and so forth. Not true. Now, if in the next year you have to do a review of the budget cycle, brothers and sisters, and you spend about $3 million on the 15 million, you spend about 5 million on the 10 million, then you'd have to say, okay, well, you have a little surplus remaining, so we have to put that money into the other thing. Not true. But apparently none of that is done. No tracing of how money is being spent and where money was allocated. None of that stuff. You know what pop up in my mind, brothers and sisters? If you guys listen to the United States and what is happening, especially when it comes on to the Doge, and what Doge has exposed, and the amount of corruption that is taking place, brothers and sisters. Tell me, when we know Dominica is involved in corruption itself, is it too far-fetched to believe that the same thing, oh my God, when you do not have any sort of substance to say, okay, or accounting to say, okay, this is how the money was spent, and we have the evidence and we have the receipts and those kind of things, that this is the amount of money remain. How come we didn't use the rest, brothers and sisters? None of that is in Dominica. This is why Dominica needs a Doge. Yes, brothers and sisters, Dominica needs a Doge. And the thing is, people know corruption is taking place. People know these things is taking place. We want to pretend, oh, because that's the people I support. I was having a conversation with an individual yesterday. I told you people I support United Workers Party, but I'm not a person to say if I see them doing march, I'm going to be like, you know, I'm going to be, no, brothers and sisters. The Mary first supposed to be country first. And the people who are able to run the country best to the best of their abilities on the merit that they have the qualifications, not just having qualifications. Because Melissa have qualifications, she say, for information technology, none of which she using, brothers and sisters, but also having the mental capacity to be able to do things. There's a number of doctors that are out there are foolish. Just because you have PhD doesn't mean you are smart, brothers and sisters. You are just able to have a successful mastery in obeying what you are being told. A lot of the doctors that are out there, brothers and sisters, are simply obeying what they are told. Oh, this is the research that was done, and this is what they conclude, and this kind of thing. That they don't know, brothers and sisters. They're just being presented these things right there. One of the things that I will, anyways, I'll be talking about that thing, but I will be going in. But anyways, let's continue right there.
Deceiving them on matters that are so important to the growth and development of Dominica. With all the deception and the trickery and the lies, this government has lost the moral authority to govern. And the quicker the people of Dominica understand and appreciate that, the better it is going to be.
I agree. But the thing is, I always have this understanding, brothers and sisters. Because I'm thinking to myself, these are adults, and sometimes just because you're an adult doesn't mean you have the mental capacity up there. Natural selection, they literally have this called in nature. They call it natural selection. Some people will make it, and then they die because they don't have the mental capacity. They call it survival of the fittest, brothers and sisters. A lot of people might be adults, but they don't know how to properly think. Some people need to think for them. Ella. And for an example, if you think I'm making a joke on these brothers and sisters, you understand that some people are physically strong. Not true? And then in the same nature that we are brothers and sisters, even though you might have a set of people growing up within the same sphere, you have a weak, physically weak people within that same sphere. It is that which was given to us on the merit that people are able to, the stronger ones are able to protect the weaker ones, and so forth and so forth, thus increasing the standard of life, not just for some but for all. The same thing applies to the brain, brothers and sisters. Some people are mentally strong and some people are mentally weak. I believe SKERRIT is very mentally weak. He has the right set of people to teach him and all those kind of things that to do. Just like you have some billionaires out there, brothers and sisters, they are billionaires not on the merit of their own choosing, you know, but because they are at least wise enough to get people smarter than them to do things. People like Bill Gates, you know, they're not thinking upstairs. But anyways, as a whole, so if you know the history and this kind of things, the historical backing and all those kind of things of where he started, you understand exactly what I'm saying right there. And then we see that same sentiment echoing in Dominica, brothers and sisters. People who are successfully able to obey what they're being told, and then these people are then passing on these things to other weak-minded people that they have generated in society. One of the things that I look at when it comes down to the international community, brothers and sisters, and I always ask this question, what is going on with critical thinking? Is all the way that I feel, and I feel this way, and is that what I feel, my opinion, brothers and sisters? Where do we leave room for the truth, my God? Where? Everybody wants to just believe that they can do this and do that because they feel that they can do it. One of the clear examples with these brothers and sisters is the situation that happened in the United Workers' Party. I always ask myself this question, brothers and sisters, how did Delbert was not part of things. Now don't get me wrong, I am for Delbert. People want to, I'm make that clear, I'm for him, brothers and sisters. But how on earth you are a senator and just jump in to then go after the leadership? I found that weird, bro. I found that really weird. Anyways, brothers and sisters, with that stated right there, hopefully you guys understand that aspect. But I must bring forth this aspect to you guys as well. Let me make this thing a bit bigger. This is the 2025. Let me go all the way back. And brothers and sisters, I will slow this down while I'm reading. Now, brothers and sisters, there's something I want to clear up right there when it comes on to the matter with Delbert and the individuals thing. So I made a statement yesterday and somebody made a comment and I thought, well, that would make sense. It doesn't make sense to have the bills together and so forth and so forth. But what I did, brothers and sisters, I kind of misunderstood what they were saying because they're talking about not bundling the bills together. They were talking about that the bills were in one book together. And the voting aspect of the bill, brothers and sisters, was done indeed separately. However, Blackmore, I'm just scrolling so you guys can stop and read this stuff for yourself while I'm talking, all right? However, when Blackmore decided they want to have a vote, they voted for the Registration of Electors Act, I believe. I think that's the one that they were voting for. That was one of the bills. And in the bills, a number of these programs were actually brought about by Delbert. A number of things that were included, voter ID cards and this kind of things, brothers and sisters. They were part of that aspect right there. And as a result, I think they wanted to push national ID cards. But brothers and sisters, I already know how this system works. They will make you think that, hey, we are doing something while trying to keep the real things out of the thing. So they'll say, hey, no, we want national ID cards. They'll but them say, no, we want voter ID cards and so forth with biometrics. So say, okay, we'll give you voter ID cards, knowing that they knew what you wanted to give. Okay? Now, I'm going to rope you guys into something very interesting right there. So they voted. What we saw was Blackmore coming and say, hey, can we have they moved the motion so that they could have a vote, brothers and sisters, a vote. All right? So that people could make a vote and they'll say aye, yay, yes, no, and so forth. They did that for the electoral, the bill that I just mentioned a while ago, brothers and sisters, Registration of Electors Act. Okay, so they did that one right there. So people were saying yes, yes, yes. So apparently this was the bill that the people, that the opposition side of parliament, they said yes to, because a number of the things that United Workers' Party was asking for, they put it and everything like that, blah, blah, blah. So that's what they voted yes for. They did not vote for the other bills. It's from my understanding, if you watch the video, brothers and sisters, you would see that they refrained from the other things. They knew that they were in minority already, so apparently, you know, they seem to have refrained from answering. So obviously the ayes have it, but the yes was only made to the bill that Blackmore asked about. Okay, can we have a vote? You know, it's interesting that from my understanding, he asked anonymously, but then people were saying it publicly. I don't think you know what anonymous mean, which is interesting right there, brothers and sisters. But anyways, so they did that and they voted for one of the three bills publicly. Then they have the yay and nay and this kind of things there. All those in favor, aye, all those against. And I think the individuals on the opposition side stayed quiet when it comes on to the other two bills. Now my problem here, brothers and sisters, this is why I was maintained and stated that even if these things were to come to fruition, it is still back to square one. Why is that? Oh, Mystelics, what are you saying? Well, let's see. The voter ID cards, brothers and sisters. Was there a date given for individuals to get the voter ID cards? No. None of that was there. None of that was apparently presented. Was there, they talk about the re-registration of the voters list in Dominica. Was there a time frame given? No. So if elections were to be called, they can still revert back to the old list, brothers and sisters. They talk about, I think one of the things they talk about using the state-owned media. And I was saying, hey, if you want to use the state-owned media in that regard, is there any consequence of that? To say, hey, if they say, okay, you can use it, and then they retract their words. You come to use the state-owned media and they don't give you that permission. Is there any consequence for that? No. So they can still say no, even though they say, yes, sure, come. There's no consequence to your brothers and sisters. So we are still back to square ones. Another thing is, I was talking to a particular individual just the other day, brothers and sisters. And I was talking to them because the person was kind of, you know, vexed with me when I was saying a number of things to them. And it was like, so I said, hold on, bro, hold on. Stop, bro, stop. So you mean to tell me that, and I told him everything I just told you guys right there. It seems like you can just go back to where everything was. Now, if United Workers' Party were to come now, one of the things that they were saying, the person was from Marigot. One of the things that the person was saying is that at least they started somewhere. Not true? They started somewhere, and if the next one they can make amendments. So I asked the person, okay, you say this. Okay, they started somewhere, which apparently means absolutely nothing. There's no date given, no amount of time frame to say, okay, we'll register during that time frame and so forth, and then elections can call after that. None of that was given, brothers and sisters. So back to square one. So I was telling the individuals, okay, fine. You say that the people there's progress and so forth. So you mean to tell me, if United Workers' Party were to come in now, and they were making amendments to this new thing that was created, right there, brothers and sisters, this new thing that was created, all right? Wouldn't they, even if no measures will change, couldn't they just make amendments and just put the whole thing and make it come through so that things they can make the amendments and put the new rules in? Because it seems like the individual was telling me, okay, we're not at step 1 anymore. We're at step 3. And we need to reach step 5. But the basis of step 3, you have voter ID cards and a number of things, but they can still revert back to the beginning, which would put us at step 0, you know, because there's no date, there's no time frame, there's none of that stuff that was apparently given within that time. Maybe the president has to come and say, okay, during that time we'll do this and so forth and so forth. Maybe that would be the key factor right there. But we hear none of that stuff in Parliament, which of course, like anything, it go back to 0. So if United Workers Party to come now, they can start at step 0 and go straight to step 5 because they are the majority in the House. The ayes have it. Not true? The person tell me yes. So I tell him, what is the big difference between saying we move from step 0 to step 3? We move from step 1 to step 3. What is this thing when you can still go back to step 1, which in my book is step 0, because nothing would have changed when it comes down to that regard right there. Absolutely nothing. So them saying, and this is one of the reasons why I disagreed with Lennox when he said that there's progress and all those kind of things. Yes, they put it forward, but they make sure they put it forward. Like they knew what they were doing. The DLP people knew what they were doing. I mean, it's not difficult to read what people are doing, you know, but it's very, very easy to read, people. Very easy. They knew that they wanted voter ID cards. But so they decided they're going to push national ID cards instead. And then they're going to say, okay, you know what, we'll make a compromise. I remember SKERRIT was saying something. We'll make a compromise. I remember you have to listen to people. We'll make a compromise. And SKERRIT will say, okay, we'll do the voter ID cards, but we'll put all the other stuff right there. The voter ID cards will have picture, and it'll have your baby signature, and that's, you know, your name and signature, that's it. But it's easy to manipulate these things, but it's easy. When you do the attachment, brothers and sisters, or the biometrics, that can, you put this thing in this scan, it reads your face, come back. Huh? You don't have none of that stuff to read to say, hey, okay, that person is that person. You can just print thing without any sort of consequence because you have name and signature and you present it. Hey, look me. Brothers and sisters, you know what fake ID is? You can create fake IDs. But if there's biometrics on the fake ID, you cannot, because you'll have to scan. You'll have to be in the system. That's why the biometrics was important. I mean, it doesn't take much to oh my goodness gracious, brothers and sisters. It doesn't take much to see this. So we are still back at square one. With all the efforts Delbert put out, big up to Delbert. I'm not saying he didn't put up his effort and so forth, brothers and sisters. But it's still back to square one. You want to say, oh, progress was made and so forth. Yeah, progress was made on the merit of putting certain things, but if it doesn't mean anything or it's not applicable to anything, it's still square one. You want to say, okay, these measures will hopefully take place. It's not. It's not. SKERRIT, I want to make sure that they stay there forever. The man said that in St. Martin. Oh, I tell you, boy, it's interesting, brothers and sisters. Hopefully you guys went through this stuff. You can pause and so forth and so forth. If you want to pause, you know, listen to what I say and then go back and watch the full thing for yourself, you will definitely be able to do so. One of the things that I was hoping for that they could do, brothers and sisters, because that was also presented, was the definitions. I heard one of the individuals in the electoral commission, civil electoral, whatever they call it, brothers and sisters, the electoral commission individuals stating that they want to define. It's not just saying, oh, no bribery and cheating. You have to define it. Because if there's no definition, people can just give an interpretation and say, oh, that's not it and whatnot. No. Oh, we were just giving people, we're helping people out. That's what we do. It wasn't the base of... Really? That's why I say, brothers and sisters, doesn't matter what Delbert pushed, it's still back to square one. It's still back to square one. No, I keep in mind, brothers and sisters, like I have to say that consistently, because some people believe because you're saying certain things against certain people, somehow you against. No, I am for him. I am for him. And I believe he tried his best to push what he had to push. But then you're coming out in public, and then you're saying all these things against the man who has helped other nations. Brothers and sisters, what are we looking? What are we really looking for? What are we really looking? Are we looking for progress? Or are we looking for some sort of, what are you calling that? It's like a queen contestant. Who is the best queen? Huh? Who ugly and who pretty, who have dimples and who don't have dimples? That is what we're looking for, brothers and sisters. And it's very interesting that it's on both sides. The mentality of labor rights is on both sides. It should not be about Mr. That is my friend or that is my... It should not be, brothers and sisters. In this world, when you look at that nature, the best, the strongest is the one that leads the pack. The strongest, and sometimes the strongest stays behind so that the weakest will also make it as well. This is how we're supposed to look at when we look at parties, brothers and sisters. Not just saying, oh, that person young and we can make that. No, brothers and sisters. We try that with SKERRIT. Look at how Dominica turned. Oh my goodness. Dominica is a land filled with so much resources. The power of Dominica, brothers and sisters. We don't just have green gold when it comes on to fruits, brothers and sisters. The soil, we have crystal gold. The water, and it's so a shame. Dominica brags, and we've seen all sorts of things about 365 rivers. And in Dominica, Dominica have more outside water than inside water, brothers and sisters. More outside water. Even to the point that I mentioned that before, that Dominica itself, the wholesale stores in Dominica selling foreign water over their own. And it's still cheap. Guys, you don't understand what I tell Lolly, the boy. This is why tariffs and these kind of things, they need to come in Dominica. I believe it needs to be there, brothers and sisters. And when these things are happening, well, then again, it only makes sense after you elevate the natural aspect, because, brothers and sisters, our waters are going down. Our waters, alas. I remember Layo River, man. We used to surf. That's how the water was strong coming down. That water used to make you afraid. But if you don't have balls, if you don't have kahunas, brothers and sisters, you would never see it fit for you to go in that thing. Today, you wonder if it's a mosquito breeding ground because the river looking stagnant. Certain areas you see little rocks and the water flowing over, and you say, oh, look at the river flowing. I went there the other day, brothers and sisters, and the place we used to jump in and that river taking you down and you're on the rock and that bringing you and you're surfing on that. Gasa, that quiet and calm. That is the biggest river in Dominica. Not the deepest, the deepest one is Indian River, Portsmouth. The biggest one is the Layo River, brothers and sisters, and the Layo River, it's very clear. You see, there's a part in the Layo River, brothers and sisters, though it have a hot water area. A hot water area, brothers and sisters. Back when I was a little youth, and if you couldn't swim, don't go there. Don't go there. That will take you down, Gasa. So you have to jump up, all the way up, brothers and sisters, and the river take you down. You have to swim across fast. So you can reach on the other side while that they bring you down, so you can go in that warm thing. The water was passing above that. If only you know what I'm talking about. The water was passing above that thing, brothers and sisters. You couldn't just stay there and see it. Now the only way you know, because of certain landmarks you see it on the top. That's how you would know. But if you go there, brothers and sisters, you see this square thing there. You see this square thing there, you could go inside. And the hot thing, the river cold, but you feeling the hot thing on you, and it's like a combination, man, that makes you feel nice. That is no more. And we're talking about Dominica preserving and 365 rivers. I mean, what? Who are we fooling? Huh? Who are we fooling? Are we fooling ourselves, or are we trying to fool the rest of the world? Obviously, the rest of the world are not falling for the crap that's being told to us. When Dominica was promoting it, when SKERRIT, not Dominica, I have to make sure I say it right, brother. When SKERRIT was promoting Dominica as the #1 climate resilient nation, or wanting Dominica to be the #1 climate resilient nation, it was all for trying to get money, It's all about trying to get money. Brothers and sisters, about building protocols, those kind of things. People are here into this, that. And during that same time, they literally had a climate resilience summit in Antigua. Boy. Guys, what are your thoughts, man? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. Well, I guess I had to do this reaction, man. I had to. I tell you, I wasn't feeling to do the reaction. I thought I was checking, boy. Whatever, man. But I guess I had to, brothers and sisters. If you understand the gun size, definitely click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that, brothers and sisters. Click it to help push these videos further and further. And subscribe so you'll be notified when I upload and post my videos right there. Of course, like I get it before, brothers and sisters. Be real. Salute the king always, despite the odds. Hopefully you understand this reaction. Be positive.